Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Basham, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honor to the elders, apostles, bishops, a great millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and safety to the hopeful like document they're doing this work. All right, now one kind of want to get straight into this. And Lord willing, this will be edifying. This is from an article that I came across yesterday from travelandtourworld.com. And the title is DNA Collection and Biometric Screening Expand at U.S. Airports, What Travelers Need to Know for 2026. Right, as we are currently in the year 2026, quoted or coined the year of apostates, sellouts, and false prophets. All right. So where we're currently in this new year, man. All right, so-called new year. And we're already in the third day, right? As is now January the 3rd, 2026. So these days are going by fast already, right? The Most High said he was going to speed up the time for the elect's sake when you get into the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, all right? And we see these times speeding up, and as these times are speeding up, prophecy is picking up speed also, okay? As we see, with this right here, this is another segue into this MOTB system. Because ultimately with this MOTB, spoken of in Revelation 13, right, which we know here at Great Millstone and certain of the, Israelites that believe in the true doctrine of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, that have been following Great Millstone, believe that the MOTB is the RFID micro C hit. Okay, we firmly believe that, through studies, through the revealing of Esau through these whistleblowers. Really, ultimately, I'll say starting with the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Right, when you going into the book of Thessalonians, one of my favorite precepts to bring out concerning that is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 6, right? Verse 5, it says, "Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time." And it's talking about Esau, Edom, and he's being revealed in his time. His NWO agenda, what he plans to do with the American people, depopulation, bringing in this digital infrastructure, spending billions and billions of dollars on this digital infrastructure, all right, and ultimately planning to, to have everyone in slavery, all right, and in captivity, right, because that's what this MOTB essentially is. It's a branding to show that you love your master, or that this is who you obey. Just going back to that to the all. When Jake was in captivity, they had an option to stay there with their master. They loved their master. They had a family there. Got a wife there, and they want to stay with their family. Then they get that all in their ear to show, hey, I love my master, I'm not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So this is what that is. This MOTB is that digital all right? And it says, "For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way," right? And the Most High is allowing Esau, Edom, to carry out these different acts of evil and tyranny that he's been carrying on with. And the Most High is allowing it that he may be judged. That Esau, Edom may be judged, all right? It says, "And when that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming," right? So getting to the point where the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is what's been exposing Esau, Edom, okay? And it's been coming predominantly through the men of the Lord, the prophets, right? But now let's get into this article. I don't know how long this lesson will be, but just want to touch on this, grab a couple precepts, and let that be the lesson, right? So getting back into this article from travelandtourworld.com, and this is dated December 30th, 2025. All right. So this is about 4 or 5 days ago. Right. So it says travelers to the United States should be aware of significant new border security measures that are now in effect at airports nationwide. As of December 26, 2025, the Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, has expanded its ability to collect biometric information from all non-U.S. citizens, including Canadians and other international travelers. This update, part of a broader move to enhance immigration controls, now includes facial recognition, fingerprints, in certain cases, DNA samples as routine parts of the border screening process. So this is ultimately getting people into the system. All right, and once your DNA is in the system, you can't escape. Right, this is why when you have like certain forensic, when you have these forensic guys that they're trying to solve a case, they're looking for DNA because DNA is going to track you anywhere you go. Okay, and ultimately this is the once again, this is not the MOTB right here, but it is very very much entangled in with the same system, because with that RFID micro C hip, it's meant to track you. It's meant to it becomes a part of you because they're able to detect whether you're sick, whether you have cardiovascular issues, whether your blood's not flowing properly, whatever the case is. It also holds your information, right? All your medical records, you hit everything that's happened to you your whole life, how many times you went to the hospital your whole life, all that good stuff. Okay, this is what the MOTB is about. So, and the thing is, we already have the facial recognition here and the fingerprinting here also. When you go into these jobs, I remember this. They started using the fingerprints. When you clock into these jobs, maybe about 2026, maybe about 10 years now, at least 10 years. Where you used to be able to just have certain people had like the punch-in card, like where you just put your card into the machine and it stamps your time, and then it went to just putting in a code to identify you, or like a 4 to 6 digit code to identify who the employee is, to fingerprints. Okay, so what's the next step? The next step is that MOTB, man, right? Which you see, and individuals are already getting it. There's been Edomites that's been getting this MOTB for years now. This is this video that I always reference, where you had this Edomite looking couple, where they had pretty much RFID microchips all throughout their house to open up cabinets, to open up the refrigerator, to open up their car door, to open up the door to their house, to make life more easier for themselves, more convenient. Okay, and that's the purpose of this MOTB, to make life more convenient. You don't have to lose your wallet no more. You don't have to worry about nobody stealing your information, because all of it's on that card or on that chip. Okay, and that's another part of privacy, that keeps popping up. Just seeing some notification with Trump and Maduro, as I just seen this morning. Allegedly Trump ordered strikes on Venezuela. All right, so this year is starting off with a bang, man. But let's continue on in this article. It says, this new system comes amid heightened concerns about national security, and they represent. You see how they going back, so like they blame it on immigration control. Okay, which these Edomites were the ones that let them in during the Biden administration. They were the ones that let all these immigrants in. Okay, and then they turn around the next presidency being with Trump and say, "Oh, we gotta get control of these immigrants, get them out of here." Well, really, they're just gonna be tagging them. Really, you're gonna be tagging them. You're gonna slap the MOTB on them too. You're right, because there have been some being deported, but not all the immigrants that came over here are solely Jake. You know, as you seen that ICE operation where these been taking a bunch of Jake up out of here, man. Starting with Issachar down to the to Levi. Okay, but you know you still got the red dots. You know you still got shit. You still got these shit. Really, Asians are immigrants too. All right. So you know none of these other nations none of them are being attacked. None of them are being snatched up. Okay. But here it is. Jake is the problem. Issachar is the problem. All right. But continue on. This is another one of Esau's ploy, man. All right. It says that the spirit of iniquity doth already work. All right. Because it's been a operation to attack Jake. All right. What I'm talking about is ICE. But let's continue on. It says, this new system comes amid heightened concerns about national security and represents a significant expansion of the Trump administration's policy on immigration and border security. The goal is to streamline enforcement and address issues like fraudulent immigrant claims, but it raises privacy concern among travelers, especially as biometric data, such as photographs and DNA, could be stored for years. You know, once they got your DNA, once they got your information, it's a wrap. They got you, right? We were all born with social security numbers. We were all born with having birth certificates. Okay, we've all had blood drawn at some point or another. So you know, once that DNA is taken from us, or you know, once we have these certain artifacts that tie us into Esau Edom system, that's a wrap. Okay, they're gonna always know who you are. This is why you know, I watched thought about the movie Colombiana just now, where you know she went into the police precinct for a mission, you know, but she didn't give her actual fingerprinting. You know, because why? Your fingerprints, your DNA follows you wherever you go, no matter what disguise you put on. Okay, no matter who, if you change your alias, your DNA doesn't change. Okay, it's your natural DNA, your natural code given to you by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. So now, of course, we gotta bring this precept out. Revelation 13 and verse 15. 14, it says, and deceiveth them by the earth, Salakia, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the image of the beast, saying unto them, and you know, and Esau does a lot of miracles with this MOTB, you know, causing the paraplegic to walk, you know, causing those who are the paraplegic also to control mouse curses with their mind. All right, you know, it pretty much, you know, this is Esau attempting to be like the Lord, okay, to see everything, to know everything, to damn near hear everything. All right, this is why this is why these phones, these computers, these TVs, they're nothing but big ass cameras, man. You know, for Esau to keep tabs on us daily. But let's continue. It says, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had a wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed or to be separated. And you know, when it comes to the MOTB, right, which this biometric system for the airports is not the MOTB, but once again, it is very much entangled with the agenda of the MOTB that Esau Edom plans to put out there. It says, you know, and it says that some will be killed. Some will be literally killed for not taking it. Some will just be ostracized from society. You won't be able to do everything. You won't be able to have certain privileges in society. You know, and they tested that out in 2020 with the 19 agenda, right? It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Right, so this is how everyone's going to be either killed or separated. You know, because you're going to get in line with it or you're not. You know, you ain't getting in line with this MOTV or you're not. You know, and the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushai have been pushing this prophecy out, you know, before the YouTube era. You know, starting with our elders and apostles. Okay, it blew up once YouTube and Daily Motion and all these different platforms to put out information. When those platforms were put out there, oh, Esau was in trouble. You know, really even before that, you know, but you know that information it it expedited throughout the earth via through Yahweh Shem Yahushai putting the spirit on these devils to create the internet. You know, so you know everything happened in this time, and right now we're in the time of prophecy, and this is why, you know, we're constantly, you know, blowing the trumpet. We're constantly speaking on this thing, man. All right, the wars and the rumors of wars. We see that coming to pass, man. Hey, things are heating up. Okay? Yahweh Shem Yahushai, as it says in 2 Ezra 9, is about to visit the world which he made. And we're looking forward to it, right? We're hastening unto the day. This is what we've been waiting on, man. And we just pray that Yahweh Shem Yahushai protects us in these times because things are getting tight for everybody. Right? So yeah, we're looking forward to it, man. We just pray that we're on the right side, which is the side of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, when he comes down with cruel wrath on this place, man. All right, but I'm gonna probably read a little bit more of this, and then I'll close it out, right? Because this, you know, just we're getting closer and closer to things being digital, 100% digital, man. All right, so we're just reading a little bit more of this. It says, new U.S. border security policies. What travelers need to know under the new system. Travelers entering or leaving the U.S. will now have their faces scanned and photographed as part of standard security screenings. Standard security streets. So this is going to be the standard. This is what it's going to be. Right? The Esau is setting a new standard. Now it's not going to be, you know, just showing me your ID. No, we need to scan your face. No, depending on the circumstances, we might even have to take your DNA. Right? They already scan your face any damn way. All right? When you go into Walmart or when you go into any place that has no cameras, you know, there's just a facial recognition. Yeah, they got you in the system off of that. It says these images will be matched with government databases and stored for up to 75 years. What's the average lifespan of I say of Americans? The average lifespan is between 60 and 80. Right? That is the average lifespan of an American, man. So they're storing this up for, so pretty much your whole life. They'll have this stored. All right. No, this is a policy designed to enhance long-term tracking of travelers. But that's not all. Border officials have the authority to request additional biometric data, including fingerprints and even DNA samples from non-citizens. One of the most significant changes is the removal of age exemptions. Previously, children under 14 and adults over 79 were not subjected to biometric data collection, but under the new policy, all travelers, regardless of age, may now be subject to facial scans, fingerprints, and DNA requests. So, hey, no, nobody's gonna be exempt. You know, I don't care. I don't care if you're 2 years old. I'm gonna need that DNA up off you or something, buddy. You know, so you know, it's showing you how Esau is going to great lengths to ultimately usher in this system, man. Right? And you know, this is like going back to the point where it says this is the standard. So it's gonna make everyone who is a U.S. citizen or, you know, planning to travel to the U.S., you know, you don't have no options. Either you get down with this or, okay, go about your fucking business. This is the new standard, you know, and you're going to have to get used to it, you know, just like we got to get used to street lights, you know, stopping at a red light. We got to get used to going to the DMV and, you know, giving proof of insurance so we can get our license plates. All right, we got to do all of it. That became the standard. All right, and you get with it or get ran over. This is Esau Edom's mindset, man. All right. That's pretty much it. I'll leave the link to this in the post production, but that's the point that I wanted to get at, man. We're coming into this new system, and this is just the beginning of 2026, man. And things are going to turn up just a little bit more through the Spirit, I believe, man. Right? You know, once again, Lord willing, we're on the side where salvation is going to come to, and not the side of destruction. Let's be on the side of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right? Lord willing. So with that being said, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rachah, Kodash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, and bishops of the great millstone. Peace, love, and safety is to the hopeful elect Akim out there. Hey, Shalom.